What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the semifinals of the WSS, where we are going to be taking on the Monterrey Gyarados, coached by Mora. Obviously, this is a really big game. Winner of this will go on to the finals, so yeah, definitely very important. I'm going to go a bit more in depth with the team builder this time, and then of course we'll go to the battle. So first of all, we faced him early on in the season, kind of got hacks, but yeah. Again, let's just run through his team real quick. He has Arcanine, Azumarill, Celesteela, Mega Glalie, Heracross, Hydreigon, Nidoqueen, Rotom, Seismitoad, Snorlax, and Xatu. So, as I said last time, he definitely has a very scary team. The biggest threats to my team, I think, are the Azumarill, the Celesteela, and the Hydreigon. They're all really big problems for my draft. Like, I do not have a lot of answers to them. So yeah, those are definitely the biggest threats, but he also has stuff like Heracross, which is also a threat. Arcanine can be annoying, Nidoqueen can be annoying, Snorlax again. Yeah, so he has a lot of options here. I don't think he's going to bring the Xatu. I don't think it's that good, so if he brings it, I think that's better for me. He could bring the Rotom, although I don't really expect it. But then pretty much everything else I think has a good chance of coming, except for maybe the Mega Glalie. So let's go ahead and jump over to the team builder here. First up, as we can see, we have Mega Lopunny. So I have Drain Punch, Substitute, Power Up Punch, and Thunder Punch. Max Attack, Adamant, 92 into Speed, 164 HP. So basically, the idea with this set is that I can scare out the mons that I need to, while also being able to deal with the Celesteela. So like, I can still deal with like the Hydreigon, the Glalie, and such like that, but I'm also not going to be like losing to like a defensive Celesteela like he brought last time. So the idea is I can substitute up, and then if he goes Celesteela, cool. If he goes something else, then I'm just getting damage off pretty much. But if he goes Celesteela, I can sub up as I like scare out something else. He goes to Celesteela, I can sub up. Then I can go for a power up punch on it, and then Thunder Punch from there will 2-hit KO max defense Celesteela, which is really nice. And basically, the 164 HP means after Stealth Rocks and Substitute, which puts me at 69%, I guaranteed live an Air Slash from a non-invested Celesteela, which is really important, I think. And I can Drain Punch up, get my health back, and this set also means I can still deal with the Hydreigon and such. And if I get a Power Up Punch up, that's going to be really nice. So that's basically the idea of Lopunny. Really big threat to his team, but it also can take on the Stealer. So next up here, we have Cofagrigus with the Culver Berry, T-Spikes, Pain Split, Knockoff, Nightshade, Max HP, Max Defense, Impish, 4 into Special Defense. I'm going with Impish because I don't have any special attacks and I don't need to lower my speed. And yeah, so basically Cofagrigus is my response to the Azumarill and the Heracross, which are both very scary for my team. It's also nice for the Arcanine, the Snorlax, etc. I can switch into Azu and give it, get rid of its huge power because obviously Mummy. So that's going to be really nice because, as I said, Azu is a very big threat to my team. So that's really good. I can also switch into the Heracross. The Culver Berry lets me take knockoffs from both of them because they can both obviously have that. I have T-Spikes to keep down his team. Yes, he has a Celesteela, Hydreigon, a Nidoqueen, a Xatu, but I still think it's definitely worth to have the T-Spikes because, one, I definitely don't think he's going to bring the Xatu, and like I said, if he does, I think that's better for me, and he's not going to switch it in on this anyway. And then the Nidoqueen may not even come, and if it does, I still think that's fine. And then I don't need to poison the Hydreigon or the Celesteela. Obviously, I can't, but yeah. Basically, that's that. I have Knockoff to be able to... Sorry, I had Pain Split because getting health back is really nice versus his team. And the whole purpose of this Cofagrigus is to be able to keep his team down. That's going to be a sort of a theme with my team here. And the Knockoff to be able to get rid of items on such like Snorlax, just getting rid of items in general is really nice, but specifically the Snorlax, if I can get rid of like a Figgy Berry or a Chesto Berry or something, that's going to be really important, because this whole team is kind of centralized around getting consistent damage off, and also being able to weaken the Snorlax, which is one of the main stops to my 2 win cons being Nihilego and Magina. So that's why I have the knockoff there. And Nightshade, like I said, consistent theme. The theme is basically with this team is to get consistent damage off. That's exactly what Nightshade does. And so yeah, I decided to go with that because it's just going to get consistent damage off on everything. So yeah, that's basically the point of that. And also Nightshade will always break max HP Celesteela's sub, obviously. So yeah, that's going to be Cofagrigus here. Next up, we have Nihilego. Like I mentioned earlier in the season, this is a really big threat versus him. Obviously, I played it really bad in the first game, but yeah, it outspeeds his entire team besides Scarfers or Priority. So yeah, I'm not going with a speed boost set. I don't need to if he has Scarfers or Priority. Cool. I'm fine with that. Power Gem hits the Arcanine, the Glalie, the Xatu. Thunderbolt hits the Azumarill and the Celesteela, which is really nice because they are both very big problems. Dazzling Gleam for the Hydreigon and Psychic hits the Nidoqueen and the Heracross. I was debating whether to have Psychic or Grass Knot for the Seismitoad, but I decided to go for the Psychic. If this gets a +1 boost, we're in a great position because it can just beat his entire team. And especially seeing Celesteela is kind of going to be forced to go defensive for the Lopunny. It's not going to be able to take the Thunderbolt that well at all. It does a lot, if not kill. Again, Arzu's Jet will shut this down, sort of, but that doesn't really matter. And again, the Snorlax is the other stop to this, but like I said, the theme of this team is going to be consistent damage and chipping the Snorlax down because of the Nihilego and the Magina. So yeah, this very big problem for his team. Next up, we have Uxie with Stealth Rock, Psychic, Knockoff, Dazzling Gleam, the Rocky Helmet, Max HP, 228 Defense, 20 Special Defense, and then 8 into Speed, just in case he tries to Speed Creep. And then we're defensive mainly because I think that's more important. However, let's just get into the set here. So I have Rocks because this is practically gonna be my lead in pretty much every case. Rocks are very good to chip down his entire team. That's very important to chip his team down. Psychic, again, just consistent chip damage on his entire team. Also really nice for the Nidoqueen and the Heracross. Dazzling Gleam is to maybe catch the Hydreigon, which he might feel comfortable switching in onto this Uxie because he could want to take advantage of the fact that it just destroys my team. So Dazzling Gleam might be able to catch that. So that's why we have that. Knockoff, again, getting rid of items on his team is huge, and for the Snorlax, getting rid of the Figgy, etc. Knockoff, really important. And yeah, that's the moveset. I have 20 into Special Defense because this means I can take a Life Orb, Dark Pulse from full in case I have to from the Hydreigon. Maybe get a Dazzling Gleam off on it if I need to, or get up Rocks or something. So yeah, that's what the Spadef is for there. Next up, we have Magina, the other win con. Probably, yeah, they're like, it's probably the main win con, but they're both really big win cons. Shift Gear, Fluor Cannon, Thunderbolt, Heart Swap, 200 special attack, models 224 speed, 84 HP. I outspeed everything I need to. With the Shift Gear up, like I said, Magina and Nihilego are both huge win cons. You look at Fluor Cannon and T-Bolt and look at his team, and his responses are very limited. He has the Arcanine, which will have a difficult time with the Stealth Rocks and still takes a ton from the Z Fluor Cannon. And then there's also Snorlax, which is why my team is designed to weaken it, to hopefully get it to where it won't be a problem for the Magina, but also like Z Fluor Cannon's going to do a lot to that as well. So yeah. What else? Heart Swap basically was a last second decision. I didn't know if I wanted to put it on the team or not, but I decided I didn't want to risk the Snorlax being able to get out of hand, because while I do have knockoff on a lot of stuff and my team is designed to sort of keep it down. It can still get curses up even if it doesn't have the item, and it could still prove to be a pretty big problem, like I said, even if it does lose the item. So not only does this does having Heart Swap not risk it, but it also means we'll be able to take all his boosts. And if I not only do I take all his boosts, but obviously I get all the boosts. So if he curses up a lot and I get the boost, like, nothing is going to be able to touch Magina on the physical side. And on the special side, he has very few things to be able to hit me on the special side. So yeah. Also worth noting, Z Fluor Cannon does a lot to the Nidoqueen. Finally here we have Sash Hooper, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Focus Blast, Psyshock, Max Special Attack, 224 Speed, Timid, 32 HP. And so that speeds everything I need to. Max Special Attack, the rest into HP. So the Sash Hooper is here as a last resort for stuff like Belly Drum Azu or Totemize Z Offensive Celesteela, which could be very dangerous. You look at his team, T-Bolt, Psychic, Focus Blast, it rocks his entire team. He doesn't have like anything for it. Psyshock is there if he's more of a Spadef Snorlax, and I don't want to risk missing the Focus Blast. So yeah, that's going to be the team. Prep quite a lot for this game, and yeah, let's see how it goes in the battle. Okay, so we're here with the battle, and Mora decides to bring a team of Azumarill, Celesteela, Nidoqueen, Hydreigon, Snorlax, and Arcanine. Honestly, nothing too unexpected here. He has the big three threats with Azumarill, Celesteela, and Hydreigon, and he's obviously got that Snorlax there. He decided to put Arcanine and Nidoqueen on the team as well. But basically, looking at the matchup here, I think if we stick to the plan and get the rocks up and then try and weaken the Snorlax as best we can. Honestly, Nihilego and Magina are both looking amazing in this game. So that's going to be the plan. As I said, I'm going to lead off with Uxie here. And he decides to lead off with his Snorlax. So turn 1, I might pause a bit more in this game because obviously it's the semi-finals and I'll try to go a bit more in depth. So I'm going to get my rocks up turn 1, like I said, that was the plan. He just decides to go over Toxic on his Snorlax here. Now I'm going to go for the knockoff because I want to get rid of this Sphinx item. He is the Figgy Berry, and that's really big to get rid of that. He just goes for the Body Slam here. Now I'm just going to go for the Psychic to chip this thing down a bit as he goes for the Earthquake, and obviously I'm Levitate, so I'm guessing he expected me to switch there. Maybe into Magina potentially. But yeah, so getting Psychic off there, like I said, I want to get chip damage off on this thing, and yeah, it's just getting chip damage off on everything. But this turn, now that I've gone for the Psychic, I feel like I put him into a sense where he could go Hydreigon here, because he just thinks I'm clicking Psychic, and also, like, what's this Snorlax going to do to me, really? He's just getting himself chipped down. He doesn't have the Figgy Berry, he can't recycle it, and he just keeps going for Body Slam and weakening himself with the Rocky Helmet and the Psychic. So I am going to go for the Dazzling Gleam here, and even if he stays in, it doesn't really matter. It's still chipping this thing down a bit. So he does decide to switch to try and take advantage of this, but I do go for the Dazzling Gleam, and that does a lot. This is a big threat, and getting the 67% off there, that is huge. So yeah, that's really important. He does reveal to be leftovers here, and he's just going to kill me off with the Dark Pulse. But yeah, that was definitely a huge play there, getting this thing low. So now this lets me go onto my Mega Lopunny, and a Power Punch will kill it from here. So I am just going to go for the Power Up Punch as he goes into his Arcanine, which is fine. We're chipping this thing down with the rocks and the Power Up Punch damage. As I'm going to go onto my Cofagrigus here, as he just decides to go for the Morning Sun. He's going to go back into Hydreigon here. Oops. I just messed that up. Anyway, he's going to go back into Hydreigon here, and I knew that I could not let this Hydreigon get him for free and go for a Roost, because getting this thing low and getting it gone is huge. So I figured he would try to go into the Hydreigon there, so the Nightshade obviously can kill that off, and if he stays in, that's fine as well. So yeah, he does try to get the Hydreigon in there. I'm not going to let that happen. We go for the Nightshade to kill it. So now I'm going to go for a Toxic Spike. Unfortunately, he does miss a Toxic with his Snorlax, which does suck a bit. But I'm going to go into my Mega Lopunny now, go for the substitute. I am toxic, but I still think going for the sub was worth it there. He does just body slam to break my sub, so he obviously felt okay staying in there. He can go into the Arcanine and get the Intimidate off again. I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch. He takes the rocks damage. He gets poisoned. He takes the Drain Punch damage. This is really good. Just going to go back into my Cofagrigus. He does not decide to recover up there that time, so this thing is really low, really good for my Magina. Going to go back into the Cofag. He just goes for an Earth Power, can knock off this thing's Black Sludge here, and go for a Nightshade to chip it down, which is also really nice for my Magina. So he's going to go into his Snorlax here. I just decide to set up another Toxic Spike and go back into my Lopunny, as he is just going to go for the Earthquake here. Lopunny's low now, obviously can't really do what it wanted to versus the Celesteela, but I think that's fine. I think I can handle the Celesteela. I'm going to Drain Punch and knock out the Arcanine as he tries to send that in there. But the fact that he hasn't gone into Celesteela yet, unlike the Lopunny or anything, makes me think this thing could be an offensive Z-set. Otherwise, I feel like he would have switched it in instead of just going into his Arcanine and taking rocks damage, getting poisoned, etc. So I'm thinking it's probably an offensive Celesteela, and he does send it in here. And I'm just going to go for the Thunder Punch. I know I have the attack drop from the Intimidate. However, I cannot give this thing a free turn, I feel, especially if it's set up. I just need to get the Thunder Punch off to get it in range of whatever on my team. So that's what I decide to do here, go for the Thunder Punch. That does 34%, so it's obviously offensive, and he does go for the Autotomize. So that's fine. Lopunny's done what it needs to do here. I'm just going to let it go down. And as I said before, I do have the Sash Hooper here, obviously, which is really big. Can just go for the Thunderbolt. If it goes to Nidoqueen, I don't care. I can Psychic to kill that off anyway. We know it's Black Sludge, and we know I guarantee outspeed it. So that's going to go down there. And now he goes into his Azumarill, goes for the Aqua Jet, as I'm just going to go for another T-Bolt here. He lives on 5%. I'm pretty sure that was a roll. We don't get it, that's fine. But here is where I really mess up. So basically, looking at his team here, Snorlax is low, can't really do anything. It's lost its Figgy Berry. It's kind of not going to be able to do anything. Same with the Arzu, it's at 5%, can't switch out or it will die to rocks. So basically, the only way he can win here is with the Celesteela going for the Autotomize. And it actually can still win because my Cofag is low, my Hooper is has not got its Sash anymore and is low. And also my Magina, obviously my Nihilego will die at my Magina. I'm assuming he has a way to hit that, like Z Flamethrower, Z Fire Blast, something like that, because it wouldn't make sense for him to not have a way to touch my Magina when it's obviously like one of the biggest problems for his team. And yeah, that just wouldn't make sense. So if the only way he can win here is with the Celesteela, all I need to do is not give it the opportunity to set up. So basically, what I should have done here is stayed in with the Hooper, gone for another Thunderbolt. If he kills me with the Aqua Jet on Arzu, that's fine. I know it's banded, so I can just go to Magina, shift gear up, and I just win the game from there. But for whatever reason, I decide to switch here. Like, I wanted to keep it for the Snorlax and such, but I had no reason to. So that is a really big misplay right there, because all I have to do is not give it the opportunity to set up, and this is giving it the opportunity to set up. So again, I mess up again here. It's like 2 plays back to back. So I obviously go into the Cofag here as he goes for the Aqua Jet. I get rid of his huge power and give him the Mummy. So from this percent, I'm not dying to another Aqua Jet, but I wasn't even really looking at the HP. So I just assumed that I was going to go down to another Aqua Jet here. So yeah, I just thought that would be fine. I can go into my Magina and win the game. But I'm definitely out of range of another Aqua Jet, and I don't realize that, and I go for Nightshade, which kills the Azumarill. So now, the only way he could win the game with the Celesteela, I've just given him the most perfect opportunity to do. Because, like, I figured there, I wasn't looking at the HP properly, which was really stupid. I figured, if the Arzu stays in, it will kill me with the Aqua Jet because he's locked in. If he switches out, he's dead to rocks, and if he goes into his Celesteela, 2 Nightshades will kill it, so it can't set up. However, I was not looking at that HP. I definitely lived that, and now the one scenario where he can win, I'm giving him the opportunity for. So I'm forced to switch out here. I go into my Magina as he goes for the Autotomize. At this point, a Z Flamethrower will kill me, or a Z Fire Blast. So I actually spent forever on this turn, deciding. what to do here. Like, I spent quite a while thinking whether I should switch here and try to burn the Z move, because I'm like 99% confident here he has the Z Flamethrower or Z Fire Blast. So I really considered switching here, but I decided to stay in the end. As yeah, we'll just see what happens here. So he goes for the Flamethrower. I take the hit obviously and kill it with the Thunderbolt. The crit obviously did not matter. So yeah, that was huge. I talked to him after the game. He did have the Fire EMZ, so he could have killed me there, but he said the reason he didn't go for it was because I was taking a while to decide, and he thought I'd switch to try and burn the Z move, and obviously the only way the Celesteela can kill me was with the Z Fire Blast. And even if it got the special attack boost, it couldn't kill. The Fire Blast might have been a roll, but Flamethrower definitely could not kill. So the Fire Blast might not have been able to kill either. I can't really remember, but yeah. So basically, this game came down to a 50-50 at the end there as to whether he'd go for the Z or not, when it really didn't need to be. Like, I had the win locked up as long as I didn't get the Celesteela the opportunity. I messed up 2 plays in a row, but we still do come out on top because of a 50-50 there at the end. So, GG to Mora. Obviously a very close game. It's a 4-0, but like, that doesn't indicate it really at all. Like, he had the, he could have easily won there. It was a 50-50. So, yeah, we do get the win, which I'm super excited about. We are going to the finals for the first time ever, and we're going to be taking on Pichu, coach of the Adelaide Honchkrows, so it's going to be an Adelaide clash for the championship. So that's really awesome, but at the same time, I'm kind of mad at myself that I gave the Celesteela that opportunity, but at the same time, it did come down to a 50-50, and besides those 2 plays, I think I played this game really well. So, yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for watching. I will be back with the finals game against Pichu, and I'll see you then. Peace.